Good morning. This is the Popper Scan video for Buy Sell Short for Sunday, June 5th. First stock on the Pop Scan for this weekend is AGEN. We actually went into that in the nightly video, so let's move on to the next stock on the list, which is VLNC. Not my favorite kind of play, but it has a pretty attractive chart here. I know some of you guys in the chat room on Friday were looking at this one. As you can see, we've got a double bottom in place. A possible break of the 20-day exponential could give a move up to that 130 level. Not my favorite battery play. The battery plays actually have been doing pretty decent. There's another one on the list further down. My issue with this stock is it can be pretty frustrating. Sometimes it takes a lot of volume to move it. And I believe they're almost out of cash. I believe I mentioned that in the chat room. They don't have too much cash left, 2 million or so, which is sometimes a worry, especially in a market like this. But, you know, sometimes these are the kind of charts that go boom. So if you're so inclined, maybe a 110. Where did this one close Friday? 112 close. So if we get a gap down in the market, maybe under $1.10, stops $1.05, you could get 10 to 20% near-term upside here. The other battery play that is on the Pop Scan this week is Ballad Power, BLDP. A couple of possible entries here would be a 200-day moving average, maybe a small entry at $1.80. Otherwise, you would wait for that 185 break, and then your target will be that 50-day moving average up there at 198, $2. If you did enter at $1.80, would probably look to keep my stops at the 20-day exponential, so 5-cent trailing stop on this one. Or if you enter at $1.84, $1.85, I would keep my stops at $1.80 on this one. But the chart has some possibilities on this rounded bottom, so definitely one to keep an eye on them because this one's on. Even though I don't like its peer VLNC, we'll probably have to watch that one as well in tomorrow's session. CDII, not the greatest chart here, but looks like it could be putting in a bottom. And then your upsides on this one would be the 20-day 119 and the 50-day at 127. Next up is Lee. This one's been on a couple of times over the last few days. It's been trying to break out. It tried early last week on Tuesday to break out. Got up to that 20-day exponential at 127. Very nice coiled bottom here. I mean, this one, if it really got some big volume and a break through $1.23, you could see a move up to $1.40 or more on this one. Again, not a stock I would like to take home, but if it got volume and movement intraday, definitely one to watch tomorrow. NBG, Bank of Greece, was on the Pop Scan the other day. Nice little move here. Resistance is at the 50-day, 157. This kind of gappy chart, I probably wouldn't play except for intraday moves at this stage. The easy money may have been made. At least, in my opinion, the risk reward's a little bit higher than I'd like on this one. RAM ran. Interestingly enough, even with the weak oil prices, a lot of these small oil plays have been pretty strong. We had a big dip on RAM on the gap down in the market on Friday, and then it came all the way back to its high. A close above the 200-day moving average would make this pretty interesting. Or if you've got some cojones, if you see a fat dip and you're able to get in it, especially if it's under that 20-day exponential 163, might be worth it for a snap back bounce. Next up, MTSN. Nice little coilage action here. $1.75. $1.80 if you're being a little bit more risk averse on this one, and your target would be the 50-day moving average up there, 199 to $2. But nice action on this one in a weak market this past week. We did get a positive MACD cross on Friday, and stochastics are still in a nice little uptrend. So definitely one to keep an eye on tomorrow. This could be one of these stocks that could do one of those 10, 20-cent moves. So definitely keep an eye on this one. ALXA, like I mentioned in the chat room on Friday, this is on watch for a rule of two play, and we went over that in the nightly or the weekend video. BIOD did financing. Biotech stocks were pretty hot on Friday. Breakout here, 215. This is a tough one. On Thursday, it looked like it was going to break down, and then it powered back all the way up to 215 on very heavy volume. then dipped again and did the same thing on Friday. So this kind of action over the last couple of days with a looming MACD cross, stochastics in the basement, and biotech stocks are doing pretty decently. Not just the ASCO plays. By the way, ASCO this weekend, like I said. So, if we continue to see the biotech stocks pop off, this could be one I would place it high on my bio watch list for biotech Momo tomorrow. LVLT, monster winner for us last month, actually has held up really well over the last 2 days, so I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this one, especially if we get a fat dip on a gap down market tomorrow for, some scalping. But it's starting to put in some nice little intraday moves, and we could be ready for another test of that 246 area, sort of similar to what we saw on Sirius a week ago when we played that secondary pop on it from 228 back up to 245, I believe, was the area it bounced. So definitely on watch for tomorrow. SOMX biotech play, possible bottom on this one. Definitely one we'd want to keep an eye on for tomorrow. Uranium stocks, they've been up and down with all the chatter about, Germany stopping their nuke program. But this chart has actually held up pretty well. A 350 break on this one could give a quick 25-cent gain. So keep an eye on this one over the next couple of days. ANAD. Very nice rounded bottom on this one as well. I'm actually surprised at the number of plays I saw on the pop scan this weekend. There's not a whole lot of plays, but I expected there to be not as many nice chart setups. So kind of a little bit surprised at how many we're seeing this one. Really interesting. Keep an eye on this one. Entry maybe will end up chasing this one just to be a little bit safer on the market. But, a breakthrough 340 would get my attention big time tomorrow. QTM, this is one we played in the chat room on Friday on the break through that 332 resistance on this cup and handle formation. It traded almost as high as 360. We ended up booking profits on this one a little bit early, but on a bad market, on a nice mover like this, you can't go wrong. Next, it's up there to its gap fill from that sell-off in January. So let's see how this one acts tomorrow. Probably one, I don't know if I would play this one at all unless it dipped deeply. Otherwise, I would just be watching to see if this cup and handle formation came to fruition. We don't always have to trade them. We just watch them and learn from them, and that can benefit us in future trades down the road. LOCM, Groupon IPO. We've also got Zenanga expected to announce their paperwork as well in the next few days. This one gives nice bounces and pops. Definitely one you scalp whenever it goes on a big move. But a break through $4, especially if we have a positive market tomorrow, would give $4.25 and $4.50. So definitely keep an eye on this little baby tomorrow. It's been holding that 20-day exponential really nicely. And, this is a tendency to run big on volume. So definitely keep an eye on this one. Going along the theme of the Zenanga IPO, another gamer, THQI, 427 would be the breakout. We could get 440 to 460 on this one. Definitely a flushed out bottom. Even in the bad market, it's held up pretty well. So another one to keep an eye on. Last but not least, Vonage. How would you play this one? Would be exactly like how we played GLUU a week or so ago. Would look to enter a partial position on a 490 break. Add to it on a 5 break. Target would be 520 plus here. So really keep an eye on this one. We got a positive MACD cross. Stochastic still in a nice uptrend. And, this is one that it's been a while since it had a big intraday move. So maybe it's coming this week, the fact that it's on the pop scan. That's it for the popper scan. I will see you guys tomorrow.